Jaret, I mean, you guys clinched a playoff spot, and that's important, but you made history. I mean, you scored the fastest goal in the history of the Manitoba Moose, a long, storied franchise. What does that mean for you to be the one who holds that record?
It's cool. It kind of is, something you're never really, thinking about. But it's cool. It happened, and some, play we talked about before the game, and it just, worked out perfectly. So always good to get to a good start like that.
I mean, I saw you and Dylan talking just before the face-off was taken, and I thought, I wonder what he's saying to him. And then, sure enough, was that just kind of like, this is something we've already talked about, try and hit me, or is that kind of what it was?
Yeah, exactly. It's a play. I feel like we've seen it a few times against us, and it's worked. And then you just kind of see it watching other hockey games, and Dylan is always kind of making up plays and is one step ahead. And we were just kind of talking about it and figured we might as well throw it in there and see if we can catch them off guard. And obviously, did that, and it worked out.
In terms of your group not taking their foot off the gas, I mean, you score that goal 8 seconds in, minute one later. Isaac Phillips in his 100th game in Antlers, he makes it a 2-0 game. Nice to get him contributing, and obviously to be able to kind of back it up with what you did with another one.
Yeah, for sure. It's sometimes you score that early. Obviously it's a good start, but there's a lot of hockey left, and to have a shift like that, I think it was very next shift. To come out and bury one, it's you just put some more on their heels, and Philly's been so good for us all year. Obviously, 10 goals as a defenseman is pro hockey is impressive, and he's just so good all over the ice. So good to see him continuing to do that going into playoffs here.
Just in terms of like this team just not taking their foot off the gas, it really didn't seem like, even in the third when you guys were up 4-1, you guys came out hard, but in that first period, I mean, you don't allow yourselves to get frustrated because you had Chippercroft puts one off the post, you had another guy, you had a couple 2-on-1s, even the shorthanded opportunities, and then Sautner gets that one. But is it kind of like this mentality that this team just kind of keeps going and doesn't let anything phase it, good or bad?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in the second period we actually weren't at our best, but even then, you're expecting them to push. No team's gonna roll over, and they did that. But it wasn't a perfect effort. By the end of the day, we find a way, and I feel like I've been talking about it. But games like that are close. It's perfect going into playoffs, and to find ways to deal with their pushes and a little bit of adversity. It's good for our group, and we did a good job of finding a way to win.
Obviously nice to clinch up that playoff spot, but what do you need to do to sweep the series with Milwaukee when these points are still so critical at the Central Division with how tight it is?
Yeah, just the same effort to try to have the same start. I thought our first period was obviously really good. We scored some goals, but I think kind of all over the ice we were solid, and it's been this way all year. It's like that in pro hockey. You beat a team in the first game, they're obviously going to come back harder tomorrow, and that's another good challenge for our group to respond to that. And then especially with obviously we want to kind of separate from them a little bit. They're obviously right in our rearview mirror here, so it's every point's huge this time of year, and it's going to be another good game tomorrow.
You talk about you don't love the way you're playing in the second period, but you got to love the way your goaltender played. I thought he was excellent and kind of kept you guys in. Even though you were in the lead clearly, he kind of kept you guys in that game.
Yeah, he's been rock solid back there for us, and there are going to be breakdowns. That's just part of the game. The other team's trying to win as well, and a lot of the time when we have those breakdowns, he's there to bail us out, and that's his job, and we have all the trust in the world in both our guys. So it's nice to have that.
Last one from me, just Gordie Howe hat trick. What does that mean to you, especially against a team like Milwaukee? This was a critical game for them. They would have been 1 point back if you guys. Now they're 5 point with a big game coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It just kind of happens, and just after that hit, when a guy challenges you, you're gonna accept it either way, and if it caps off something like that, then it is what it is. But it's definitely cool, but even better when it's part of a win.